YouTube, it's Heather. Welcome back. I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that we've been working on, and now that all the gardens are mulched, it looks awesome. Here's the new garden, actually. I know that we haven't actually planted the plants, however, they look good in the little buckets that they came in. I love Halloween and fall. It's my favorite time of the year. So anything that I can get that has to do with fall plants, including chrysanthemums and especially pumpkins, I love to have. Aren't they amazing? White pumpkins, so cool. These are actually purple, but for some reason on the camera they're coming out red, but they are definitely a magenta. This is the chocolate mint. It's so fragrant and absolutely wonderful. The only problem is I have to keep it in a pot because it gets so big and it takes over the whole garden. That pumpkin we actually grew. We grew those little ones up there too. And those we grew. We have a lot of other coleus in the yard, but we just planted these ones here by the door and they look really good. That one got bigger on that side for whatever reason. I think maybe it gets more light in the morning. I'm not sure. So everything else is looking pretty good. I had to deadhead a lot of plants in the garden. Apparently I didn't get this one. There's still a couple in here. There we go. This one didn't produce a whole heck of a lot of flowers, but it sure did grow a lot of green. It took all summer and spring for my vinca to bloom, and that's all I got. Very sad. My dahlias. They actually all came to heads this year. Last year they all died. I didn't plant them here though, so that's probably why. This one was a really pretty color. Some purple in the middle, a lot of pink on the outside. I bought these earlier this year. I actually bought them from Big Y, the grocery store, and they're looking pretty good. I'm not sure if they'll flower again, but they're doing well. This little guy gets all of his sun blocked out by that one, so we'll see if it produces many flowers. I'm not sure if it will, but it's looking good so far. My Rose of Sharon didn't seem to do a lot. Hopefully it'll do better next year. These ones are so pretty. I love the doubles. Salvia. I've never planted this before, but I decided that I didn't want to keep feeding sugar water to the hummingbirds because that's not natural for them. So I thought I'd plant a lot of red flowers this year to hopefully help bring them back, but without the sugar water. I can't believe how well those came out. They look so beautiful. The silver falls. Planted a new rose bush this year. Pretty sparse. It'll look better though. Those are holly bushes back there on either side of the barberry. They were yellow, they're golden. But they're not. Not right now. They're all green. Not sure why, but we'll figure it out. The blackberry bushes got enormous. I have to zoom out just to show you how big they got. I love them. They tasted so good this year. We had to really weed out this garden. The pom-pom bush, we still need to cut it back, but we wanted it to get really big so that it could get a lot of growth on it before we did them again. And these are volunteer tomatoes from last year. They reseeded themselves. Oh, here's the first one. Looks so good, doesn't it? Amazing. Delicious. These are the sun sugar. And my Florida Wigalia has gotten really tall. It should flower again. They almost always flower 3 times a year at least. This was my yellow rose bush. Doesn't look like it's doing that well, but there is a good flower right there. I see some weeds growing in there. Some sage. These are the most fragrant roses in my whole garden. Look at that. So pretty. Smells so good. I didn't lay down the landscape fabric or plant anything over here this year, unfortunately. The strawberry hydrangea bloomed. It looked gorgeous. Lemongrass. I planted 3 of them. They do really nice as a border. I only did them in this one spot to see how good they would do this year. The coleus got really big. Lime coleus. Look, there's a little bumblebee down there. You see him? These coleus got enormous. I love it. So excited. This one was more of a ground cover, so I think that next year I'd like to plant that along the borders. I think it would really look good. Maybe I'll do one of those, and then one of the taller ones, and then another one of those, then a taller one, and then a different one. Not right here though, but in a different spot in the garden where there's more room. The lavender looks really good. My yarrow is banging. Look how hot that looks. Lots and lots of leaves. This was a new rose bush this year. I wasn't sure how well it was going to do. Didn't know if it would establish itself this year or not, and it looks amazing. I love them. The pretty one. I love it. This was a new grass that I got this year. It was an ornamental grass. It's so soft. I planted 2 of them. Didn't plant them appropriately in the right spot. Didn't know how well they would do. And they are perennials, so I guess they're stuck in their spots. Maybe I'll get another one and put it right over there, and then there'd be 3 of them, so that would look really good. My other Wigalia, Sonic Bloom. Some chives that I planted as a pest deterrent, but also amazing for my food, and I'm going to use it tonight in my casserole right on top. It's pretty much everything in the garden is new this year. It's so long. So the last time we looked at this garden, it was not mulched, it hadn't been weeded, and it looked like hell. So now it looks amazing. The daisies finally came up. The yellow is stunning with that pop of purple in the middle. Planted some rosemary. My Japanese maple did not turn out well this year. I think it got waterlogged and got some sort of disease. So that was a real bummer. Some more lavender, different types of coleus, lantana, and of course the celosia that reseeded itself all over the garden. It looks beautiful and it brings a lot of color to the garden. The Persian shield doesn't always do so well in my yard, but it did get pretty big. I think it got too much water. We got a lot of water here on the East Coast. These did really well. I saw a lot of bees all over them this morning when I was out here weeding. More volunteer tomatoes. They're everywhere. I had some earlier today. They're sun sugar too. These didn't bloom until recently, but they look really good. Different color lantana over here. More lemongrass. It should start to turn purple soon. Actually, you can see this one has already started to turn purple. I just bought these mums yesterday. So cute. 3 different colors. And then I have some asters that I just bought. And pretty much that is all for the garden tour. Thank you for joining me today in the garden. I hope you enjoyed everything. Leave some comments below, like and subscribe. Thanks.